What's up, people? I'm Xogue, and welcome back to Bare Roots. So before we get started with anything today, I do want to mention a little thing that happened. Noms, another dude on the server, he came over and he gave me a present. I'm gonna call it a present. I don't know if it was meant to be a prank or what, but is that a cat? I think it's a cat. I don't know what it is. It's a thing that is made out of andesite. The reason for that is because I was actually asking for andesite with this. I ran out. I had to go back to spawn and grab a bit from the community chest and stuff. But it says here, "Dear Xogue, I heard you were in the need of some andesite. Therefore, this andesite..." Oh, it's a dog, wolf, sheep thing. That's what it is. It's a dog, wolf, sheep thing. Perfect. This andesite dog, wolf, sheep thing had nothing to do with me. I swear. Noms. Yeah. I don't believe you. Because, yeah, that's totally something you would do. Anyway, so, you know, we have a bunch more andesite here, which is really cool. Thanks to Noms. It's kind of, we're going to leave it here for a little bit because currently I don't need any andesite and this area is already kind of junky anyway. So why not just have a big statue of a dog, wolf, sheep thing? Perfect. Man, your nails are getting pretty long. All right. Anyway, now he's an amputee. Perfect. All right, so what are we going to do today? Now, in the last episode, I showed you a little design of the sheep farm that I want to build. Right? I showed you that thing, and since I showed that to you, I actually had a wave of inspiration, sort of, and I actually made it better. It functions the exact same way, but it looks better and the redstone is more compact and it's pretty much done. It's ready to be put into here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to my creative world and show you around that design, the newer one. It's the same functionality, so I may not go into that, but as far as the redstone is concerned, it looks a lot better, and the looks altogether look a lot better. So I'm going to jump over there, and while we're over there, I'm just going to go ahead and build it. Two of them probably right here and right here, if they fit. We're going to find out. We're going to do that, and I will see you back when they're done. Right, and there you have it. This is the design that I've come up with. Now, the sides are currently uncovered, and that's just so I can show you everything, and that's not really a big deal. You can easily pretty much just continue the design and just wrap it all the way around. Cover it however you want. But the point is that there is a side that is completely void of redstone, and therefore that is your front, and you can put this anywhere and you won't really have to see any of the redstone. Now, this works exactly the same way as that other one did. There's a button you press that activates it. The water comes out, pushes all the sheep down the hole. You shear them as they bounce, and when you're done, you hit the same button yet again. It will bounce them up. It will close these doors right here and then also close these a little bit later so the items have somewhere to land. Now, up top here is kind of messy. It would be a little bit harder to decorate, but as you can tell, it's still doable. You know, you don't have to worry too much about the design as far as that goes. The biggest problem with this farm is that you do have to go up top to collect the items, which could be edited or managed in some other ways. I'm playing with the idea of maybe closing these at the right time and therefore trapping the items inside solid blocks, and maybe if done right it will be like an item elevator, and maybe you can shoot them up into hoppers and then collect them that way. That's one of the ideas I'm playing with, but I don't know if it will work. I haven't tried testing that yet. I just wanted to get this functionality working first. So what we've got here is the input button. Basically, you just hit it, light comes on to tell you that it's on. So that button is going to power this line, which goes directly into this T flip-flop right here. And basically, when it's on, the item will be in here, as you see. When you hit this button again, the item will be into here. So it's just going to shoot it out and up when it receives power into this block. And then when it receives power again, the power will go here and then here and shoot it over. And it will rest right into here. So that's pretty much the on. When it's on, it's here. When it's off, it's there. And that's pretty much the idea of the T flip-flop, turns a button into a lever. So then you're testing the output, and this output on this side and this side are pretty much identical except for one little thing right here, which I'll get into in a second. But as far as the two sides go, you have the comparator testing the output, which you see it does have a signal now, and it will go up and on top of these wool blocks, which have torches, which are powering these guys. Now, they don't receive, pistons don't receive power from redstone just like this, as you can see right here, but they do from the torches, which is why this is an inverted signal as it stands. So then you have a piece of redstone which will activate this piece of redstone down here and then power this block, therefore turning this torch off. And as you can see, that would be when the farm is off, and therefore this light will not be turned on. So if we go and hit this lever, button, technically it's a lever, functions like one, and it will go right here. So after it does that, it has these both sides just like that. Then there's the slime blocks underneath that needs to be launched up. And this needs to happen first, which is why these guys have a 4 tick delay, technically. And in case you don't realize, 1, 2, 3. Yes, there's 3, but the repeater itself in the normal state counts as 1. So that's a tick of 1, 2, 3, 4, basically. That's how it's counted, in case you're curious about it and all these redstone tutorials and stuff that say 2 and 3, and they add 1. Anyway, so that's why these are delayed to 4 ticks, and that way this guy right here can be powered, and then this torch would turn off, depowering that and lowering these slime blocks when the farm turns on. Because when it's on, those need to lower, which means this needs to be inverted from whatever this is. And that's good to go. Now this has to be a slab. If you put a full block here, it's just going to be a burnout clock. So you have to put it as a torch. Let's go ahead and reset this guy. And if you put a slab, it doesn't cause that burnout status to happen. So then you have the side over here also testing the output, going up this torch tower all the way up. And we'll get into this other stuff here in a minute. And then it goes delayed into these guys. Now this is the delay because it needs to close later, allowing the items to shoot through the roof and then close, and then they can land on these blocks. And that's pretty much what it's working with now. Now there's an issue that I didn't have with this farm that I do have with, there's an issue I didn't have with that farm that I do have with this farm. And that is that the sheep actually suffocate in these blocks if these close too soon. So since I've decided to use these, I had to increase the delay here in order to avoid the sheep from suffocating. Now, they never get out. They never escaped, but they took a little bit of suffocation damage. So you have the two options. You can set it to the tick delay that you see right here, or you can just switch it to glass. Now, glass does not cause suffocation damage, but items can still land on it. And therefore, you'd be good to go. The items can land on it, but the sheep won't take any damage from the blocks themselves, and you'd be fine. And then you could reduce this to a more comfortable setting, because right now this is a little bit close. A little bit close. The sheep will fall, and then these will close, and then like less than a second later, the items fall on top. I don't know. It's pretty tight timing for that. So it's pretty much up to you if you want to use the transparent blocks rather than the delay. But other than that, you have, there's only one other thing that needs to be triggered in this farm, and that is the dispensers. Now, the dispensers work differently. They don't really have an on, they have an on and off state, but you have to supply power to them to turn them on, and then the signal has to go away and then come back to turn them off. Not like pistons, which basically for as long as they have a signal, they'll be in their on state. So we have to trigger the dispensers twice. And that's what this does. Basically, this is a dual-edge detector that when this receives power or loses power, these will retract or extend. And what you're going to see here, now this is just a little bit of an extension. This isn't required, this little step up right here. This is the only part that is required. This part right here will solve it. You don't need any of this right here. You don't need that. But you'll see, basically, when I take a lever and attach it to this block, you'll see. Keep your eye on this redstone right here. You see how it glitches back and forth? Glitches? Turns on like rapid tick basically. That's because nothing underneath the redstone block can be powered while it's moving. So while it's moving, it's off. It doesn't power anything. And then once it settles in its new location, it does. So in this case, let me flip this one more time because that's supposed to be extended. And then I can put this block back with a redstone torch and be good to go. Oh, of course you did that. But the redstone block itself does not turn off or does not power any kind of a torch or anything like this in this scenario. The only reason this is off right now is because the redstone here. If I take that off, torch comes back on. There we go. Okay, now it's in the state it's supposed to be in. And that's pretty much all that does. That's a very simple, short, dual edge detector. And if you don't know what that means, basically, that's just when the input changes. When the redstone signal changes on or off, either way, it generates a pulse. And that's what we needed, because we needed to turn these on and off regardless of which direction the farm is going. We just have to make sure that the water comes out when we want the farm on. So that's kind of how it is. And there's your farm. All right, and here's the first one. The second one isn't done yet. The main reason I didn't do the second one is just because I severely underestimated how much time it would take. The actual building of it, not too long. You know, I designed this thing, so it was not too hard for me to recreate. I really, once I started it, I remembered everything else that went into it. Biggest thing I had to look back at my design for was just the timing, just to make sure everything was accurate and the same. And that's just kind of how it is. But the biggest thing that took the most time was just getting the sheep in there. It was such a pain. It was ridiculous. It took so much time, and I just don't, I can't spend any more time doing it. Oh, back one. Not you. Thank you. All right, now we can go up. But, you know, you see in there what I ended up doing at one point in time. You know, I was just going to go drag 30 of the sheep from over there and put them in here. And then I was like, how about we just do 20 and then breed them? So I did that, you know, and obviously I didn't get all blues, so I also had to dye them. But, you know, I did that and I got them in here, and then I broke through the side, and of course the sheep somehow, you know, they found somewhere to path to, so they ran like through me. Like, you can stop mobs, but if there's other mobs pushing them, then they can actually, it's kind of like them glitching through a fence. They glitch through you, and it's weird. But they did, and like 4 or 5 of them got out, and I got so angry. I was so aggravated. It was insane. It's crazy. Oh, you're what? No! Why did that happen? Oh, the babies grow up under the things. I'm going to have to breed some more just to make sure, basically. But it looks like the babies are starting to grow up, and that's unfortunate that some of them are dying. But overall, the big sheep can't get under there, so after all of them grow, it's not going to be a big deal, and all of the grass will not be gone. Hopefully, I won't have to replant, but I have a feeling that I probably will. I don't know. We're going to find out. But that guy is probably going to end up drowning at some point, because the water comes down from here and goes over if he doesn't leave before he grows up. Anyway, it doesn't really matter too much. I'll kind of take a tally of how much wool I get from it, and if it's too little, then I won't worry about it. Or if it's too little, then I'll go in and breed him some more just to make it work. But right now, the only reason the grass is this much gone is because the babies eat a lot more than the parents do. Like, they eat so much. It's crazy. So hopefully there's enough in there to let the grass come back, and then we should be good to go. But worst comes worst, I just have to hop in there and plant some more grass. Not too big of a deal. Anyway, so ooh, there we go. I also took a little bit of a break. It took me a little bit longer because I went and did some my pick. You see, my other pick was like gone. Like, I couldn't repair it anymore. It was too expensive. And that was a regular one. That wasn't Silk Touch. And I would not be using a Silk Touch pick as a work pick if I didn't have a lot more to go. So I went in there. I went over to the gold farm. And I just kept collecting experience. And I was like, all right, I'll try to enchant a diamond axe. And I had like 40-some diamonds on me. I was like, I'll just do that. Whatever. I came over here and was like, bam. Oh, Silk Touch Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3. That's cool. The next one. Holy... Oh, wait. No, that wasn't the next one. The next one was... Where are you? Oh, I have it somewhere else. I got a Fortune 3 efficiency 4 unbreaking. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll get that one. And then I got this guy, and I was like, oh, that's sweet. And then I went through, and I got another Silk Touch efficiency 4 unbreaking 3, and then another Silk Touch, like, straight in a row. I got, like, 6 good picks right in a row. And I'm like, I think that's pretty good. Then I have a couple unbreaking 3 in case I get some good picks that don't have unbreaking 3 on them. There's another Silk Touch unbreaking 3. That was my original Silk Touch. And then I have a work pick if I run out or feel like I want to conserve those for some reason. And then there's my old one. So I have a lot of good things. Oh, and I got a few books too. There's Looting 2, Unbreaking 3, or Efficiency 4, or both. Efficiency 4, Fire Aspect. Yeah. So, you know, I have been doing a lot of stuff, but not all of it was this stuff. And now you see the design, it's actually facing in this direction, so I would have to approach it from here. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is that, yes, the base is kind of symmetrical because that corner will eventually be done as well. And, you know, you have your 4 corners, and those are kind of like the hallways you go out, and you have your little rooms here and there, and that's all good, but sometimes you just need to break up the symmetry because I'm trying to expand as a builder, you know, and one thing I always do is I always have symmetry. Another thing I always do is get lost in my base because of that symmetry. So I'm breaking it up, and I think right around here is going to end up like breaking off. Like this will expand in that direction sooner. So like right around here, it'll be a really big opening over here, and then we'll just walk straight up into it. And then the diagonal you see, which is why it's so far over, is so that I still have that diagonal to keep putting these guys in. And then the same kind of a thing is going to be here. So this is going to be a huge opening that, well, it's going to be a lot different. Breaking up the symmetry. Good stuff. And that's just kind of what I'm working for. Working towards. And I haven't designed this guy out. I haven't put any of the stairs or anything. But you saw the finished product in the last little snippet. That's pretty much what it's going to look like. There might be some subtle changes, but overall, it is what it is. And, you know, the redstone is pretty much exactly like you saw it in the creative world. Nothing really changed at all. It's exactly the same. And, yeah, it's pretty good. I haven't tested it yet because of those babies. I think they might mess something up, but I'm not entirely sure. Not 100% sure. But, yeah, the biggest problem was just getting the sheep in there. It was a pain. It was a big pain. Huge pain. But, yeah. So in between episodes, I will be building the next one. Hopefully, if I have time. And I will be designing them. And hopefully, I'll even get these little areas here done. That's what I'm hoping. And to actually, you know, extend this out. How they're going to look. And at least this one and the light blue one will be done. Hopefully, before the next episode. It's actually quite a bit of work. And obviously, I do have a life I have to get to sometimes. I try not to pay attention to it most of the time, but it's life. It kind of creeps up on you sometimes. Anyway, so I am working towards those, and yeah. If you like the episode, please click that like button. You want to see more? You want my videos sent directly to you, then don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to comment, favorite, and share if you feel inclined to do so. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.